Did somebody say WeeaBoots? Because I think I just heard someone say WeeaBoots. Hello and welcome to another episode of the WeeaBoots podcast. This is episode 10 and we're reviewing 3 new animes this week. Blood Blockade Battlefront, The Disappearance of Nagato Yuki-chan, and what's the name of the third one?
The Heroid Legend of Arslan.
Okay. I made so many joke names for it that I forgot what the original was. And we've got the full cast with us. We got Jay from HailsLeon.com.
Yep.
We got Jeff.
Hello.
And Bob.
Hey guys.
Bob, you from somewhere?
I don't think so.
Okay. Bob also runs GigaBoots.com with me, Dan Video Games. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and start on these alphabetically. Was that on purpose? Or
No, it really wasn't.
Happen? Okay. I feel like we should have done this in the reverse order, but oh well.
We can switch it. I can do that.
Oh my god, you can do that? Let's do that! Wow, good job, Bob.
Yeah.
Good job. So, we're going to start with the Heroic Legend of Arslan.
Okay.
It is an anime. Now, why did we watch this anime, guys? Or rather, let's go over the theme for this episode. Yeah. The theme for this episode is we're watching nothing but animes that are having people involved from huge animes.
Yeah,
this one has art by the Full Metal Alchemist.
She also did the adaptation for the story.
Right.
Yeah, so Arakawa did the adaptation for this one. Blood Blockade Battlefront was done by Naitao of Trigun. Yeah. And then Yuki
The Disappearance of Nagato Yuki-chan.
Yeah. I always messes me up because I'm used to hearing her name flipped the other way around.
Right. Is clearly just some knockoff of fucking...
Well, the thing is, because they added the Chan, they had to put the Yuki backwards, or how the...
Right, so in any case, because
Haruhi.
It's a knockoff of Haruhi, it's just some fucking thing.
Yes.
We'll get to that later, but first we're going to start with... Hey, Jeff.
Hello.
Did you enjoy the animes this week?
I enjoyed
some of them?
The Haruhi knockoff.
Okay, so we'll get into that later, but for now, we're watching the Heroic Legend of Arslan.
Okay,
we're talking about it. We're not really watching it. We're not those guys. Who did you say? Digibro does that?
He did a couple of videos like that.
Okay, because fuck anime makers. I ended up watching some of these, not all of it, but some of these on a computer that had ad block on it, so I got to experience what being a shitlord on the internet's like.
Wow.
I say that, and I have, like, a fan who's a patron who does that.
I did that on Hulu, and it would be like, hey, I noticed you have ad block on.
Go fuck yourself.
I would just refresh the page, and it would start without the ad. It was pretty good. It was a little bit less work than watching a 10-second ad.
You sure you hit a key? That seems like more physical activity.
Well, I mean, I was sitting right there. And most
You
of the
hit a button, though.
ads on Hulu are really annoying.
Most ads are really annoying.
I don't know. I feel like Hulu takes it to a new level. And then you see the same 2 of them when you're binge watching things.
Yeah,
that's just true. So yeah, the Heroic Legend of Arslan. Hey Bob, you want to run us through this one?
Yeah, sure. Like we mentioned, it's got art from Arakawa. Mm-hmm. The story's original concept of the story, because this is apparently adapted from a novel from long ago, like in the 80s, is Yoshiki Tanaka. And then it's got the director
Holy shit.
Noriyuki Abe, who's literally, like, he's got some really good directing stuff under his belt.
Bleach, Black Butler, Book of Circus. That's weird. Flame of Rekka, GTO, which everyone knows this. Yu Yu Hakusho,
Yeah, damn. Okay, one, that director, that's really impressive. Also, that author, he also did Legend of Galactic Heroes, which is like one of those legacy series. It's just one of those, put up on a pedestal. So this is going to make for an interesting discussion, because like, had I known that, I probably would have went in with higher expectations and come out way more depressed than I did.
So the anime production is super important to bring up this time.
Yes.
Because it looks rough. Leiden Films, which is how I'm going to pronounce that, it's Liden. Leiden Films, who did Aiura, Miss Monochrome, which Bob and I were like, oh no, but Terraformers?
Terraformers was actually one of the big ones from last season we didn't watch.
Yamada-kun. and the Seven Witches.
Which is another one that's going on this season, which we might get to in another later episode.
Yeah, we probably will. And then the 3D CGI was done by Sanzigen Animation Studio, which did Dance in the Vampire Moon, Oremo, and Full Metal Alchemist, the movie, Conqueror Shavala, the game.
They literally did like CG and tons of stuff. I just cherry picked some of the biggest ones.
Okay.
Yeah, I never see that. Also interesting because I remember FMA's was serviceable. Dance of the Vampire Moon, I don't remember it being intrusive.
You know, the thing about FMA, though, is I feel like the art style, like, especially since they didn't have some of the weird stuff that's happening this art-wise, it almost blended with the CG a lot better than a lot of animation styles would.
And they had the ability to cheat and be like, well, that was the movie, so that was literally just for those robots.
That's true.
So, yeah. And it was a movie, so it had budget.
So yeah, as we mentioned a moment ago, the Heroic Legend of Arslan is based on a really old book from like the 80s. It's the story of a kingdom that is slavery.
Yes, one kingdom that seems to be where the heroes are from. Has a slave trade going on.
I don't know about trade, but they got slaves. And much like most conquerors or whatever do, when they conquer a place, they take in the people as slaves.
Right.
At best.
And then there's the other people who are like religious zealots and
kill babies.
Yeah, they slaughter and murder people because they believe that all men should be treated equal and treated properly and evenly. And they're like, you guys have slaves. Fuck you.
But also they just kill anyone who doesn't believe in their religion.
Did they actually kill babies?
They did.
They actually said
that shoe drops in episode 3.
Yeah. Because in the first episode, Bob brought that to my attention because I had checked out somewhere in episode 2. Fucking me and Jeff, same page.
Yeah, so I think Bob's the only one that kept it like for the whole 3 episods for this one.
And that's why we balance our staff like we do. Someone's
I will sit through whatever.
My life is meaningless. Stay tuned for my 24-hour live stream of all episodes of Naruto ever made.
But I don't know, sometimes I get into these sort of big war things, and I enjoy them. This one, not so much as others.
I was excited when it seemed like there was going to be some scope to the battles, and then...
Right, and
then it was all CG garbage.
Yeah.
Like, it was pretty much like just taking Lego men and having them clank together.
Yeah,
for, like,
it kind of was. And then, like, a lot of it, like, isn't even action between... At least so far, by episode 3. Which on all 3 of these, we watched 3 episodes, and this is more like a preview review. The action hand-to-hand really doesn't come up a shitload, and when it does, it just looks real bad.
Yeah, something we touched on slightly, the animation in this is just bad in general.
Not only in fluidity, but, like, line work, staying on model.
Staying on model. Jesus Christ. The eyes are the derpiest I've seen in a while. Like, and I'm sure this will be fixed on the Blu-ray or some shit, but right now, watching it as it's coming out, it looks pretty crap.
You know, it's pretty amazing because of all this, like, getting the streaming rights is more important nowadays than getting the DVD and Blu-ray rights. That, like, we'll fix it for DVD and Blu-ray. Americans are like we give a shit. We won't fucking see that. Because by the time that comes out over here, that shit has been streamed. That shit has been pirated. Everyone's basing their shit off of that version instead of, when this might be animated even half-assedly good. Which another element, like they have those coifs, the fucking metal, like, chainmail coming out of their helmets.
Right.
They have a weird 3D texture that they pre-baked into a 2D image, and it does that thing where silhouettes move over a texture that animes do.
I hate that.
And then it's like a 3D pre-baked texture in that, so it looks ultra bad. And even weirder than all of that, that is so much higher detail than anything else in it that it stands out even more.
Right, especially when those soldiers that have the chainmail ones are right next to the ones with the cloth ones. It's just like, what?
Because the cloth ones has, like, aside from the outline, 2 lines in them to show, it bended massively this way, and then shadow.
Yeah.
But then theirs are, like, super fucking... Yeah, it looks terrible. It just really looks terrible. It's got a real case of the case closed B episode, B studio look, where the main character, Arslan, Who did you say he was a knockoff of in Full Metal?
I've been calling him Albino Alphonse.
There we go. Okay, so Albino Alphonse, just fucking his eyes go all Conan derp, where they're too far apart and they're melting off of his face in some scenes. It's just, it's not bad enough to be funny.
It's just
enough.
It's
It's just fucking It's like not good.
If you don't look at it too hard, okay? That's all we're saying.
Just get fucking drunk and take off your glasses, and Arslan is a fucking great anime. Said Bob, cryingly.
I don't know how. Go ahead.
I was kind of watching it while playing Monster Hunter, so it looked pretty good if you ask me.
Yeah. Every episode, Jeff's gonna admit to, I wasn't really paying attention.
Well, I paid attention to the other two, just not this one.
I love how every week you bring in a game you were playing,
I know,
and you're only on our anime podcast,
right? So I think we all agree though, the animation, the 2D animation, crap. The 3D animation, super crap.
Yeah, fucking. They even use the 3D CGI in the intro to show them running down like an alley on horses, and it looks so bad.
Oh god! And the worst part is they're trying to do this epic sweeping camera pan like through the battlefield and stuff, and you see these soldiers reusing the exact same motion tweens for like every character model, and it's so bad. And it is just like a really lame single sword swing and guy block.
And also they're all positioned exactly the same amount of distance from each other.
And in a way where it's like the perspective hasn't even altered on them. So they're like pre-baked 2D versions of 3D models that are all animating the same. And on top of that, it's like 8 frames a second. Yeah. It's not even 15. It's not half 30. Like, fucking shit, man.
So
that's when you exit the program and you go, something's wrong with the PC. We gotta figure out what that is before we make a fucking anime, you guys.
So okay. So the interesting thing about this is, this is based off of a manga by Hiromu Arakawa, which was an adaptation of an 80s classic novel that had an OVA. Yeah. JC Staff in the 90s did an OVA series of Arslan. I'm honestly more interested in seeing that.
So when we hit the home stretch of this anime season, we don't have anything to review. Maybe we'll get around to doing that.
I'm gonna hunt that down. Hopefully, it's not ridiculously expensive. I will try and pick that up.
Yeah, if it's something we can cover, I'm interested.
Yeah.
I would love to contrast it against this because it's an OVA, not
They have to get through a lot more material a lot quicker,
and I feel like that would
better.
It was like I was watching a shitty version of a Dynasty Warriors battle.
Yeah,
like there were elements where it was like, oh, there's super heavy fog, like a PS2 game, and then they ran off, and there's a cutscene of them running into the pit and then catching on fire. Yeah, kind of like a PS2 game. Oh no, arrows are flying at them, but they don't see anything. Oh, there was a watchtower with archers in it. Through the fog, just like Dynasty Warriors. I was just like, fucking shit.
But the fact that this anime is an adaptation of Arakawa's manga, which apparently has also had another manga adaptation before Arakawa did it, from what we looked up. And so they didn't adapt the original manga, they didn't adapt the book, they adapted fucking Arakawa's manga. And this adaptation doesn't even feel like one of her works. Usually, when someone, especially a big name author like this, adapts something, you see their fingerprints on it. Like, this is their take on this story. No, it has none of the charm that FMA had. And, I'm not even, that huge of a Brotherhood fan. I'm kind of one of its biggest detractors, but, I
mean, okay, so let's just make a parallel. It's like if we made a crazy successful indie movie, right? Did crazy good, and then they're like, what's your next project? And I'm like, I'm remaking Fight Club. And then it's just straight note for note Fight Club, and it's like, good fucking job, asshole.
Yeah.
They did that once already, you douche. It's just, it fucking, it just comes across as a paycheck.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I would like to check out Silver Spoon. That's the other
I've
manga
heard that's really good. Honestly, I read the first volume of the Hero Tales manga. That was pretty solid.
Are those two before or after Full Metal?
After.
Okay.
Full Metal was her first.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she may have been a one-hit wonder. I'm not
Silver
sure.
Bullet. Fucking one in the chamber. Let's do this.
So, okay. This adaptation, though, I don't know if maybe, the manga's just really boring or if this anime is boring. It has a really good director behind it, so I don't want to blame him. And, since Arakawa is adapting something else, maybe she's just completely... Because we really haven't talked about the story.
Yeah, but real quick, just a quick note to help people visualize this. a lot of the characters in this just look like Full Metal characters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, we mentioned the albino Alphonse, but there's also, Mustang.
He's
which
just
Bob
Mustang.
insists it looks like Mustang and...
Kimberly.
And Kimberly, like, fused.
Yeah, so, like, there's a lot of that going on.
And
on
then
top of-
like, the main character's dad is obviously a Fuhrer.
Honestly, I thought he looked more like Armstrong because
he
he
has,
had
like,
that
half
face.
of the features of each. I don't know. Like, it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
And, like, that on top of, like, how uninteresting the characters and plot is. It
just everything's so dry. None of the characters really gel well.
And when they do, it's super trite.
It does feel like super just generic.
We wrote a war story.
Yeah, this is a war story sort of thing.
But not even like a great war story like, say, Patton or like any other actually interesting, like, and then these guys were on their own and they had to work through, like, Inglourious Bastards is a great war story. Like, fucking, and they're behind the lines and cool things happen. And no, I don't have a giant boner for World War II. The Medal of Honor series back in PS1 prevented me from ever liking that as a setting.
But I was gonna say, it looks like in episode 3 they're gonna form their own team. And that seems like where it's gonna go from here.
Yeah.
It kind of seemed like they were setting it up for Arslan to realize that his kingdom wasn't as great as he thought.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, like, it dragged so much ass. Like, that first episode isn't even fucking needed.
No.
Yeah,
that first episode's pretty shit. Like
that
the
was
only
the one
two
I
scenes.
paid attention to.
Yeah, and I was like, because once they do the time jump, it's like, that isn't, like, because I imagine, like, the one kid who looks like, Edward with, short hair. I'm assuming he's going to come back and play a role, but I feel like what they did with him in that episode, there's nothing relevant enough that we needed to see that entire thing happen. I feel like that entire episode was just a waste. You could have just skipped straight to the time.
Yeah,
maybe
it's sort of to
flashback.
set him up so that way later they can deliver on that. So as an episode in and of itself, yeah, it's pretty shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sets up also those kid characters are obviously just like a
and they're
tug at the heart. Yeah, they're tug at the heartstring, like really cheaply. Man, we're going to introduce these little kids, and you aren't even going to care enough to when we kill them off.
A lot of this does that, where it's just like super trite, taking the lowest hanging fruit.
Yeah, it's just maybe the novel is just that bad.
Maybe it is, but some people have the audacity to make a fucking garbage anime out of it, like Lost Universe. They don't half-ass it and make a half-good anime. No, they make fucking garbage with the dark side. We need to watch Lost Universe, Jay.
I own it. I just haven't watched it yet.
Lucky you.
Dan's gonna make me watch it twice.
Yeah.
Dub both times.
Okay, so another thing that kills me. Okay, so like I said, this author, he did Legend of Galactic Hero, which is one of those heavily coded.
I'm sorry, I'm just remembering a moment. There's a moment in fucking Lost Universe where for some reason, it's a slow pan, it's a zoom on a character, and they're sitting there, nothing's happening. And then right before their heart cuts away, there's 2 frames of them going, huh! And then... like, I'm serious. 2 frames of them going from static, like just staring at the perspective, to going, bah! And then it like hard cuts the audio out and cuts away. And it's never... fucking Lost Universe, man.
I'll have to check that out.
I feel like I have to watch it now.
But yeah. Also, okay, the original novels, the character designer for the novels was Yoshitaka Amano.
Yeah, fucking Amano.
Fucking Amano was the character designer for the goddamn books. And they're gonna use Arakawa's fucking designs. Like, nothing against the woman, but goddamn.
No, something against the woman. You see what they look like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
Not that this,
Look,
not
man,
that I think
this
this
is what sells right now.
Also, like,
Wait,
Maybe.
now let's go over that. Really?
Maybe.
No, I don't think
They
so.
aren't pretty enough.
No,
Yeah.
they aren't.
And what was it like the fucking traitor guy that portrays albino Alphonse, his whole kingdom. Like when he shows up, just his character design just says, "I'm going to be evil." Just the moment he shows up, this motherfucker is just gonna pull some shady shit.
His little thin mustache.
Yeah, his fucking little pencil thin mustache. I'm just like, oh,
Like,
he's
okay.
evil.
Either he's dealing some coke deals on the side, or he's gonna betray them.
You know what would have been
one of
better?
these makes
is
way
if-
more sense.
What would have been
Right.
better is if like the old man that was training him had betrayed, because that guy looked all friendly, like goddamn medieval Santa Claus. I wouldn't like if he had betrayed them.
like medieval.
No, Jay, he was another character who needed to be there to tug heartstrings.
God,
Yeah, that's why this anime is so unbelievably unenjoyable.
Yeah, it's cheap and manipulative, and it doesn't even work with me. It doesn't even work on me, so fuck it. Like, I didn't enjoy, like, even the intro. The intro was goddamn awful.
We'll talk about the intro later. Just make sure we talk about the intro and outro later. Bob, what's your opinion of Arslan? Like, what do you like? What do you dislike?
I don't think it's completely awful. It's just, it's mediocre. It's okay. It doesn't really evolve beyond that.
Would you describe it as boring?
There are times when it can be boring, yeah. It doesn't take, like, I've seen this same sort of thing approached with even crazier stuff that should have made it just awful. Last season, done way better. Like,
Yeah.
It was Marksman of Vandalist or something.
Yeah,
And it was a lot of indecting, like, oh, well, it's going to show in busty ladies and be sex it up. But then it was still a good actual war story.
Sorry.
Which is weird. Like, that show had no right being as good as it was. And then this one comes out, and it's like trying to take itself super seriously.
Yeah.
And it just isn't very good at it.
Yeah, the problem is that none of the characters matter. Like, you don't really
I feel like
anyone.
maybe if they stuck around and had built up a lot more to the battle at first. Like,
Or
if
even
all
the
characters-
kid.
Right. If
Like the Arslan, if you just saw his upbringing and like saw things that happened to the country over time,
right. Instead
did
of just
you care about the setting and the character?
But instead we just get like this episode 1, which is
Here's a crazy episode where we run around and it's like, look, bad things happen in your kingdom, and he's like, what? And then he's like, oh no, oh well, guess I'm still prince.
Yeah.
And then we jump 2 years.
Well, it's good to be.
It was 2 years, right?
3, because he went from 11 to 14.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I feel like it could be a lot better, and then it looks really bad. So
Yeah, I feel like
makes
looking
it
really
hard.
Looking really bad like it does. Like the character designs are fucking worthless because they're just recycled Full Metal, and then on top of that, it's animated like super garbage. Like it doesn't make it visually good, and then character-wise, it's not that great. I wish there was some political intrigue, but it's just the most like Aladdin has more political intrigue than this. Jay's like,
They're starting to
funny
bring in-
comment. Thanks to maybe Dan's onto something.
But
Aladdin.
I
Try
feel
to
like-
remember Aladdin through all the cocaine.
I feel like maybe the political intrigue will build out more. I mean,
I don't think they have.
I think it's
don't
just
think
going to
the
be
story
Robin
has it.
Hoodish after they make the troop. But,
right after
you
they
know,
make the troop, who knows? Maybe
that seems like it's going to turn into kind of like, oh, good feelings because we're making things better. Oh no, we lost a guy.
And
Sad.
yeah, I think that since you zoned out for episode 3, you didn't get to see Shara Aznavour.
I saw Chair Ass Nipple.
Okay. And see what they're going to do with him.
Jeff, what was your opinion?
I feel about the same as Bob. It was just mediocre.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about any of it, really. It was... No, I'm not.
He's just like, no.
Jeff's like, I would say something, but you're recording this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it was enough to pull me to the next episode at the end of each one, but not just
Man,
barely.
I wonder what that felt like.
Just barely.
Bob goes between episodes like a high school student with his head down, shuffles in between classes. Like, he's just like, guess we're doing this. Here we go. I got 5 minutes to tune in for the next episode. Oh no! He was betrayed, I guess. Shit. Next class is coming. Here we go.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, what's up? We don't like this.
No.
Like, that was obvious from the first
like,
episode.
okay. So, you and I seem to be more, like, they seem to be on the same page, and you and I seem to be on the same page.
Like a bit harsher.
Yeah, like, we definitely have a more negative opinion. I thought it was really dry, really boring. It just, like, the characters didn't have enough going on to really capture me. The battles were just poorly CGI'd mess, so they weren't engaging to watch. The line work is really sloppy in the animation. Just everything about this is just low grade, and yeah, there's nothing that makes me want to watch more. Like, maybe if, like, and the fact that we're 3 episodes in and I don't give a flying fuck about anything that's going on, I'm like by episode 3, if you don't at least have something to make me want to watch more, no. Like, I don't care how good it gets past this point.
like, see, that's the thing. If they had original character designs, like a lot of them, then at least when Chair Ass Nipple showed up, it would be fucking impressive. Be like, oh, look at these assholes with the audacity to steal Chair Ass Nipple.
Right? Or as I just called, what was it, Fantasy Shar? I was like, oh, Fantasy Shar is here.
But yeah.
Let's be honest, his helmet's more like Zex's helmet.
Well, yeah, he's got like the mask on like the side of.
So wait, is he a knockoff of a knockoff?
Yes.
Yes.
He's a double knockoff.
That's fucking depressing.
So yeah,
he's like proto-China.
But yeah, like the thing that pisses me off is that they should have better character designs in the outro. God damn it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the intro real
before
quick.
we get done with
outro.
this.
Yeah. So hey, the intro.
It sucked Fox.
You
There
said
you go.
you knew who did the song. Who did it?
Yeah, Overworld or Uverworld. I forgot I don't know how it's pronounced, but yeah, they did the Techno Life, which was the theme song to the second theme song of Bleach.
Okay.
And that was a pretty catchy theme.
Yeah.
It's also the only song from them I've ever liked, and that has continued with this song.
Yeah.
Like,
It's staying the course.
yeah, they are staying their course of. I like one song that they made.
At the beginning, I'm like, oh no. Like, just the way it sounds, I'm like, oh,
it's
this
just-
could go either way. Am I going to like this? And then it cuts into, like, oh, show the title card and everything. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, like it's just this really kind of weak techno-y theme, and that completely clashes with the whole tone of the series. That and just the intro video itself was garbage. It was
Real quick,
images.
like the tone of it clashes with the series. We agree. The series is just about playing it straight and being a historical battle thing.
Yeah.
Like it's
Right.
there's really not much else to it. And this thing is like, I don't even fucking know.
Yeah, I have no
Can
idea.
anyone say what the tone of the song is?
I kind of enjoyed the song, but it totally doesn't fit.
Yeah,
No.
like I mean,
the material.
like if this were more of like I don't know, like a Slayer's like series, like fantasy action comedy or something.
You know what? Would have been a great intro theme for this. That Watamote intro theme.
Yes.
Just fucking Arslan screaming like screamo metal.
I would have preferred that.
I would have loved that, and then I would have been fucking angry when it started playing the real anime.
Yeah. So yeah, like the intro though is just still images, or at the beginning it's like a lot of still images and just kind of panning.
Hey, in
over.
a CG castle, Jay.
Oh yeah, and it was a wonderfully animated CG castle or rendered CG castle. Yeah,
Bob, any other comments? Because I mentioned the horse thing earlier, and the horse thing really looks bad.
Yeah.
Like the horses running down the alleyway in CG,
Oh, yes,
and then they do
yes.
a vertigo. Nothing?
No, it's just not. Other than the song, there was nothing in that for me.
Okay.
Oh, did you actually like the song?
Like I said, I kind of enjoyed the song. It's just
Okay.
it super doesn't fit at all.
I almost
What about you, Jeff?
could have enjoyed the song. Do you remember
I
the song?
recall not liking it, but I can't.
You just kind of tuned
It's
it
pretty
out.
fucking forgettable.
Yeah,
I can't
it
really
is.
blame you.
Definitely not super memorable.
Speaking of super fucking forgettable, does anyone remember the actual song for the outro?
Okay, I
just heard it 3 times.
Okay, I do, but only because like the tone of that song, like I thought it had like a nice little bit of a catchiness to it, and the tone of the song fit the tone of the anime. And I was like, why isn't this the fucking intro theme? Like
The gesture Jay just did, his arms outstretched,
Yeah.
like palms turned
Yeah.
up. I don't know, you should sound
Yeah.
Jewish if you're doing that. Why doesn't this be the outro theme?
Yeah. I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
And the artwork in that. Okay, half of this outro.
Yeah, fucking goddamn
gorgeous like redesigns of all the characters, and I'm like,
almost a sucker punch after you just watch this fucking swill garbage of a piece of shit fucking drawn ass turd. And then it's just like, here's these fucking detailed fucking models for these fucking characters. So good they're barely fucking recognizable. And then halfway through this fucking outro, it cuts back to the garbage. Because it needs to fucking animate them.
Yeah. It's like the one time where I would have wished. It's like, no, stick with the still images. You were better with the goddamn still images.
I know, right? Normally you go, oh, thank God it stopped being still images. But that's like the one moment in that episode I was like, oh, this is nice.
So yeah.
What if the whole manga looks like that?
Like the first adaptation?
Yeah.
Is,
Oh,
no,
I
new
flipped to
adaptation.
the
the Arakawa one?
Yeah.
I flipped to the manga. It looks like FMA.
Yeah,
Okay.
because of course.
Of course.
Because I could never see
thing is, though-
Arakawa drawing something that looked like
The thing
that.
is, though, it looks better than this, though, because, okay, Arakawa's style really has a lot of harsh, straight angles to it. And this doesn't. It's kind of sloppier. It's
in fact,
it's nowhere near as refined.
Saying there are lines is even a stretch here because
well, I mean, they're not straight lines. I mean, they're kind of. But I mean, there are
like,
lines.
hey.
There are lines that connect and make drawings. Let's be honest.
Welcome
here.
to Arslan.
I mean, it's not like Shin-Chan levels here.
To say that joke.
I had said it the moment I saw the name. I'm like, hey, Bob, what anime are you watching? Before we decided we were watching this for this episode, he's like, oh, I'm watching the Heroic Legend of Arslan. And I'm like, Arslan, land of asses, Astland, butts.
Damn, it's a classic.
There's the full arc. There's the full arc of that joke. Everyone enjoyed.
I wish I could have gotten
for our comedy.
Yep.
So yeah, we got 2 mediocres and 2. It's shit. There you go, guys.
That's not very good, considering usually someone here likes something.
Yeah,
I like Saikano, Bob like Gourmet Girl.
Yeah, this is like I've never seen us so just. Yeah, this was ass, or was kind of almost not ass.
The high standard.
What a fucking bar that is. It was almost kind of not ass. What fucking... I feel like there was one other anime we all just went, oh, this was shit.
I'm sure there was.
Probably.
We just
probably that
forgot
first
it
one.
because it was that bad.
It was probably one of our earlier ones that we blocked out already.
That way we could keep doing this and assume we're never going to hit something that bad.
Yeah.
But okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next anime. So we're moving on to the next anime, The Disappearance of Nagato Yuki-chan. This is done by the original creator.
No.
What?
No, I put that up because he is the original creator of the series.
Sorry. Yeah, I said that completely wrong anyways because I already knew it wasn't done by the original creator of the light novel, Nagaru Tanigawa.
Yeah.
But
Which, of course, The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, in case you don't know. The original manga, done by Puyo?
Yeah,
Puyo.
That's the name it had up on the site.
Okay, the director of this series is Junichi Wada. And that, of course, is the original manga of this anime, The Disappearance of Nagato Yuki-chan.
He also did the Melancholy of Sarizumi Haruhi-chan, which is a separate one from like the regular Melancholy.
Yeah, it's all cheapified and crazy and weird. It's a gag 4-panel manga.
So it's another knockoff.
Yes.
Yes.
So this person's only other work seems to be knockoffs of this work.
Yeah.
A professional fanfiction writer, one might say. So the director, Junichi Wada.
Directorial debut.
Yep. How unfortunate.
Right?
The animation production done by Satellite with 1 T and light as in, light from a fucking the sun.
Right.
That's right, too.
I put all these animes there, but they also did the anime for Time and Eternity, the video game. So I figured I'd note that.
Oh, that is important.
Yes, it is.
So in any case, Aquarion, Fairy Tail, Log Horizon, Bodacious Space Pirates. What is Bodacious Space Pirates? Is that a TV series?
Yeah.
Okay, it didn't have that note there. Whoops. The rest of them did. So those were all TV series.
And I'd like to note that they are not Kyoto Animation, and it is very obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, how many people here have watched Haruhi Suzumiya? Jeff?
I'm raising my hand.
Okay,
Jay?
yeah. I've seen both seasons and the movie.
I've only seen the first season all the way through.
You, Jeff?
Oh, yeah, I watched
how much
all
of it?
Okay,
all of it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I even read a little bit of the
I saw
manga.
2 episodes of the original series years ago. Now, I don't know how watching this was for you guys yet, but let me tell you how it was for me. This thing didn't want to introduce anybody to me, and then it proceeded to be shit. Just fucking shit. And I'm just like, what are you... I got 8 minutes in, looked at Tosh, who was watching it with me, and I don't think she's seen Haruhi either. So we were both in the exact same space, and I'm like, do you want to finish watching this or just stop here? Because this isn't for me. Like, the anime is just clearly like, you don't know what Haruhi is, get the fuck out, because this is like some ancillary product not fucking for you, you idiot.
Basically.
You fucking
The original
cretin.
Haruhi kind of just starts off in the middle, too. Like,
But it does it in a way where if you have no clue, whatever, it's still enjoyable. to some extent. I mean, I thought so, and I watched episode 0 as well.
Like, because episode 0 is fine. Like, well, once you get to episode 1...
Because there's something appreciable about fucking idiots making shitty film.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even that. Even the actual first episode...
You have Keone, though. Keone is the narrator, though.
Yeah.
He does everything for
Crispin
you.
Freeman is the you in the show.
Which they try and do in this one, but they
really
don't try to do it. Like, Keone's still there, and he still has the same role, but he doesn't do
Keone
it.
is
You know,
very
I didn't
subpar in this
fucking
one.
remember his
Yeah.
name at all. It was just Crispin Freeman.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, so basically, this obviously, you went in... You had no clue. It wasn't trying to, like, help you out with any of this.
I mean, it wasn't trying to be a good show. Because I feel like even if you're clueless, a good show is still good. There are very few things where you need to know absolute context. Like, this is... That sort of scenario is tuning in for episode 23 of a season of a thing. That is when you get into, I don't know any of this. Is this cool?
Yeah.
That person's flying. Is that new or always the case? Like... His
Like when
hair is golden. Is that good or bad?
You came into, like, episode 9 of Rolling Girls while I was watching it.
Yes.
That was just like,
And
wow,
I'm like,
this is
is
weird.
being really weird, Bob. And he's like, no, this is being really weird for, like, this series. And I'm like, okay. And, you know, even then I sort of got that sense. With this, it just sort of... How would you two describe it? Bob or Jay, you fucking describe what the episode is, the first one. And
Okay, so basically, this is an alternate universe take on Haruhi Suzumiya that is focused on Yuki Nagato, but she is not the Yuki Nagato you know, because the Yuki Nagato that you would be familiar with if you saw Haruhi would be the, you know, very, you know, emotionless Rei Ayanami-esque, you know, alien character.
Yep.
This is, she's adorable, quiet, you know, kind of nervous, shy moe girl. And this seems to be based off of the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya, which was, I think, like the 4th book in the series, and which was adapted into a movie. That, and like in that movie, they do something where, like, you know, Haruhi like resets the universe to where, like, I think she never transferred, and so like none of the characters are who they were before, and this series seems to be set kind of, or it seems to be based off of that alternate universe. But now instead of, like, it's now based on, the story's focused on Yuki Nagato instead of, you know, the character, or Haruhi.
And yeah, one of the things in the first episode, they're like, you're like his childhood friend, except for the childhood friend part. You're just that person. And I'm like, I've seen enough of the series to know you're not that person.
Yeah.
And this was before you two even told me anything about this.
This was...
It seems to arbitrarily change character traits.
To make a shittier anime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, because, okay, Keone lacks any of his, you know, because like, Keone felt like a real dude. You know, like, when, what was it? Like, you know, when, like women were changing or whatever. Like, he would have those reactions that a teenage guy would have, where it's like, I really want to look, but they'll fucking catch me if I, you know, like, you understood him. He felt like a real guy. Here, he's just blank moe anime guy protagonist who doesn't really do shit.
And his tone and stuff, the way he reacts to things, at least from my perspective, didn't seem to match up.
Thing is, though,
now, admittedly, I'm hearing the Japanese voice actor instead of Crispin Freeman's tonality.
Well, I mean, like, he's very deadpan. He should be deadpan, but, like, his deadpan...
There's no bite to his deadpan at all. That's the thing.
He had no real lines that really kind of worked with it.
And it's super just came to the front at the end of the first episode when they were, like, planning for the party, and she has all these dumb ideas, and he's just like, I don't know. That doesn't seem good.
Yeah.
Right. And then what Ryoko, man, that's a really weird thing they've done with that character.
Okay, yeah, like I said.
Yeah, I have
like I said in the movie, though, like I said, like, in the movie, these are pretty much the roles that those characters have played in that movie, except for Keone. Keone was still Keone. Because, like, he was, like, pretty much, like he's like, oh, fuck, Haruhi reset the universe.
So, wait, what you're telling me is this is the effect of a copy of a copy of a copy. Slowly the details are falling away to the point of, like,
because...
Keone has a penis is all we got left. Maybe it was a woman.
Okay, yeah, because in the movie, like I said, Haruhi, like, resets the universe to where she had never met anyone, and none of the characters were the special paranormal things that they were
Right.
in this alternate universe. And Kyon wakes up in this universe that she had created. This seems to be exactly based off of that, except Kyon is no longer that guy.
Except for anyone being self-aware, so it's just another fucking high school
right, where they get to use popular characters and cash in.
It's just, it is very by the numbers, moe. I fucking hate the art direction, by the way.
So we can go to the art direction in a second. There's a lot of us talking about problems and things we dislike about it.
Jeff, you liked it.
You liked this anime, right?
You guys make me not want to.
No, dude. Like seriously, like
that's why you're
you're allowed to disagree with us. We're not going to jump your ass for this.
We're not going to jump. Give me your poop.
I am not as jaded about it as you guys. I enjoy watching it. While I agree, like the art sucks, and compared to Haruhi, like the original Haruhi, like all the characters are just weird, and the Kyon sucks. I think he's the
worst part of this.
Yeah, I really you guys were on point with how he delivers all his lines, and his lines in general are just completely off with how, like, the rest of them are good, because I understand, like, Yuki isn't going to be the same Yuki, because it's a different universe, and then Haruhi's more or less the same.
Yeah, she's basically the same.
Which is super weird, because, like, it's not even about Haruhi, but then she shows up in episode 2 and won't leave.
Yeah.
It's just like, well,
are you fucking for real?
Yeah. Yes. She shows up in episode 2, and then like by episode 3, she's like kicking in the door to their club room, going like, "I'm gonna hang out in your school now.
I'm hijacking this anime. Thanks. We were already living in your shadow." But you
continue.
Yeah, I mean, like, I really liked the Haruhi.
Okay,
so regardless, I'm pretty excited to see
Haruhi
new content. Like, even though
you
it
like
is
this
like
extended
this weird...
DLC plan, is what you're telling me.
Basically, like, even though it's like a weird mix-up of what it was, it's still like I'm still enjoying seeing the characters I had enjoyed in a previous show.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, as fucking weird as this sounds, I enjoyed this more than Arslan. I really did, which is incredible.
I found it far more fascinating just because it was this weird bastardization of Haruhi. So, I mean, I got that out of it. Let's see. Anything else you want to add, Jeff, about, like, what you were
what's your
getting at?
highlight? Let's get into the highlights and, like,
like, or are you just kind of just riding off of the fact, like, the Haruhi-ness of it, and you're going, hey, it's something.
No, I mean, I did genuinely enjoy watching it.
It's just fucking... if it's not... Just, hey, it's something. Like, look at them tits! Like, just fucking that low level of, like, them Haruhi tits! Bot! Day one pre-order.
I don't know.
But yeah, okay.
Just... basically, you're just kind of like... The moe thing works for you, basically.
Yeah. I don't think it's bad.
Okay, so this kind of slice thing just works for you. All right.
So here's the thing. I don't know that they played the intro or outro for episode 1, so I haven't seen it at all.
Okay, we'll hold off on that.
Okay, so can we take a break at some point so I can watch that, so that way I can even...
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we'll do that at some point. Bob, what are your thoughts?
I really didn't like this. I just was like, this looks ugly. I honestly, like I said, I only watched the first season of Haruhi. I never got back into it, even for when the second season came out, because there was such a huge delay between those. And then I heard that whole eight, whatever it was, the Endless 8 thing. I was like, that sounds awful. I'm not going to watch that.
I like the Endless 8 more than the 3 episodes of this I watched.
You know, the animation style shift, or the art style shift between this and the original Haruhi is kind of equivalent to the Tenchi one for that new touristy thing.
I actually kind of like the new Tenchi one.
I mean, yeah, like, sure. I'm not even talking about quality shift. I'm just saying it's that different.
Yeah,
it's just like
hugely
where I'm
different.
like, that guy's Japanese and has black hair. Is that Tenchi? And you're like, yes. And I'm like, okay.
There we go. We got him.
Haruhi, it was like, I think that's Boob's chick, but her boobs aren't there. And then the next scene, her boobs are there because she's wearing a revealing outfit.
Yeah.
That
I think
that
Mikuru
those boobs better stay on model.
And her friend, the green hair one, the parts that they're in are okay, just because you got almost no Suruya, whatever. You got almost none of her friend in the original series. I feel like, Felt like she was very much left out.
She was way more in the second season, but...
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I need to watch the second season.
Yeah. I mean, like just watch, like, the first and last episode, the Endless 8, if you really just want to, you know, not suffer through it. Honestly, I didn't find it that horrible, but...
So Jay from
horrible.
Halcyon.
There was just, like, no variation.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, like, oh, well, that's cool. I'll
was
be able to
a unique
watch
experiment.
this. And, like, I kept thinking they would change minor things, but it would just be like, we changed the number and... Like, she got a different mask. Other than that, it's the same exact episode.
I don't know. Like,
it's like when I accidentally watched Dragon Ball Z on on loop. It's like, oh man, it's gonna be this different this time when they get to that Frieza episode. No, just loop back to that Raditz episode. Darn it!
Oh yeah. Whenever they used to show it on Toonami, that was the worst. I'd be like, all right, I'm so stoked for the next episode.
They have to have new episodes by now.
You're right. Yeah, it would seriously be like, this is like the 6th time they've gotten back up to this point. They're not going to show the Raditz episode again.
They couldn't possibly do that.
Oh,
and
look,
then you get home from school the next day.
Yeah, my friends are all like,
it's our old friend Raditz. Yeah.
Oh my
God. That was brutal.
Thank you for bringing up a terrible memory of my life.
That's what I'm here
terrible memory
for.
of your life. I'm still living that. Okay.
Well, yeah.
What's
what's
you
the
get
new
for
one
liking
called?
DBZ?
Resurrection of F, or Resurrection F is the U.S. title.
Does that stand for Freezer?
Yeah.
Freezer.
I'm not gonna correct him.
Cool Zoid.
It stands for Cool Whip.
So Bob, yeah, that's...
Yeah, I really couldn't get into it. Just the way that Yuki Nagato is now a super boring moe girl, in my opinion.
Yeah.
She, like, there was nothing special about that. And
Jeff's
then the
gritting his
Super
teeth.
Force.
Oh, no, I agree. I like
Ryoko.
I like the
like
show,
sisterly.
but all the characters are bad counterparts to what they were.
Yeah, and it just makes me remember, oh man, yeah, Haruhi was good, wasn't it? That's weird.
Yeah.
Real quick question, because we just went over the Endless 8 and stuff like that. Is this the worst animated Haruhi product?
I've never seen Haruhi-chan, so...
That was pretty bad.
Was it?
Check out these scars, lips, sir.
Well, I mean, it was like a mini-series.
Yeah,
so,
it was a gags little...
I saw
was
little
it a
clips of it in AMVs, and that looked okay.
3-minute anime thing?
Yeah, it was
that has to be better than this. It ends in 3 minutes. Fuck, man. Including intro and outro, that's only 2.5 minutes long.
One other super weird thing this does. It jumps right into a Christmas episode.
Yeah, that was weird.
It's like, we don't even get any sort of gestation with these characters. She just, episode 1, she wants the Christmas party. Episode 2, they get a Christmas party.
Interesting thing. The movie was also about Christmas. Was set around Christmas time as well. So
but that's the movie.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, though, like, you know, because it's set in that, because obviously based off of that universe, so I found it interesting. It's like, there's all these weird parallels with the fucking movie, but like I said, Kyon isn't the odd man out here, so it's...
Christmas was a big plot point in the show as well.
Yes. I seem to remember that.
What?
Yeah,
from
Christmas
things
time.
I heard. Whatever, we'll leave that comment at that, and the internet will catch it or they won't. In any case, did the movie involve medieval Santa?
No.
2 out of 10. Being a reviewer is easy. I have a nice microphone.
I
have a podcast.
But do you have like an English degree or a writing degree?
No, I don't. I also don't have a creative writing degree. I'll help you aim that arrow.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah, they had the Christmas party, but then what they do? Oh, right, Haruhi, okay.
Yeah. They all did Haruhi.
Man, that's a new vector for making an anime podcast. Have a guy on there who's like, listen, I have a degree that justifies my opinions about these animes. Like, that has to be one of the craziest things anybody could say in an anime podcast.
Japanese studies has nothing to do with
Let's
anime.
talk about Shinto. Yeah. No, that's okay, man. Stand down.
You guys know that Japan's #1 export is dolphin fins or whatever. Just like dropping random stuff. It's like, thanks for showing up to our podcast.
I'm gonna go home and cry. But yeah, no, this, oh my god. As somebody who hasn't seen all of Haruhi, it's even more maddening. You think it would be less. You think it would be like, oh, cool, what's happening, anime? But it's like, no, fuck you. This isn't even episode, like, it has no episode 1. There is no episode 1. That thing does not act like the first episode of an anime, it acts like the 7th.
Yeah, you're supposed to already know all the characters, even though this is literally the first time they meet Mikuru and Suzura.
Exactly. Just like that's
keep butchering her name, okay?
Yeah. It's gonna keep happening, guys.
Fucking Tengu man. In any case, it's just
Tetsuo.
Tetsuruman. Digivolve. Fucking yeah. It's just it's maddening. Not in a I'm angry. Like no. It is instilling me with the brain madness because this fucking thing is so fucked. It is fucked. Like, there's no other way for me to describe this. I've never seen an anime ever not give Fully Cooley gave more of a shit about you understanding it than this. You three got it easy. I'm just like, what? No, this can't make sense. Oh, does it make sense? Why are they having...
I accidentally watched the second episode first.
Uh-huh.
So the series starts with, I want a Christmas party, here it is.
I like that payoff more than an idiot.
It was really confusing, and then I watched the first episode, and then I knew all the characters already, so it wasn't as maddening as you, but I was just like, nope, they didn't explain anything. It really is just kind of like Christmas. Here we go.
It's like they took out a bat with Christmas written on it and just whap! Take that, viewer!
So yeah, alright, so this anime. Alright, I remember, I haven't said this in the podcast yet. When I was first watching it, I finished that first episode and immediately text you about I just watched the first episode of The Disappearance of Nagato Yuki-chan. This is going to be a rough episode of WeeaBoots, I can already tell.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I got that text from you, and I was like, oh man, you never texted me that it got better after this. What if all 3 animes are this bad? And I had already seen a bit of Arslan.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh man. Oh no.
So yeah, like this anime is so fucking weird because I was really thinking it was just going to be its own little independent thing. Like, this little bit of fan service stuff. Like, this... It's so infuriating to think that, like, instead of getting another season of Haruhi, like, instead of adapting more books, because the fucking novels are done.
Yeah.
Like, the dude finished the series, like, a year or so ago. So it's done. They just finished the series.
They're just milking this cow. So
it's just, now they're doing...
They know if they hit a lower quality product now, that makes the actually good quality product later look better.
Right, and there's always a chance that they couldn't get Kyoto Animation for something this year, so they have to wait till next year to get a real
maybe. Fuck. But yeah, so yeah, that was the fact that this is just this weird alternate universe thing. Okay, one of the weirdest things. Okay, you already point out it's obviously designed for fans of Haruhi. Kind of dropped you in. You didn't know what the fuck's going on or who these people are, or why you should give a shit. When Haruhi shows up, and since they haven't brought this up, I feel this is worth noting. I think it's when Kyon meets her. She walks past them. It flashes to a different. You see her walk by, and you see the bow in her hair, and then it hard cuts to that scene again, but the animation style changes to that of the original Haruhi, implying that there's some sort of connection between this alternate universe and the original one. And the way they keep framing Haruhi in this show, like every time, like when she shows up, especially when she meets characters, the framing of shots feels like it's like this should be more significant than it actually is. And I'm like, are they gonna do some sort of weird thing where it just kind of like flips it on its head? And it's like, oh man, like now things are all crazy Haruhi, classic Haruhi again, and yeah. That was really weird. It was really jarring when it happened. I was like, oh shit, what is this anime doing?
And the fact that it hasn't more fully delivered on that in the first 3 episodes seems a little weird.
Yeah.
I mean, that does seem like a long-term payoff, but I don't feel like a lot of people are going to have the patience for that.
Yeah, I wonder if Yuki Nagato is going to disappear.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who? I don't know anyone.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
But yeah, this.
I love that it's like Bob's got the title up there, The Spirits of Nagato Yuki-chan. Under characters, Yuki Nagato.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit, we're putting it in English.
Yeah, like how they've retooled all these characters, I feel is some of them are fairly still accurate. Tsuruya.
Real quick. You're really overselling it with the word retooled.
Okay, the way
they hollowed out and filled with Cadbury cream.
No, fuck that, because that would be delicious.
But it would also feel terrible afterwards. You're like, please stop.
Only the cavities. And honestly, that might it would still be an enjoyable experience while you're, engaging with it.
Okay.
So it's more like they hollowed it out and then, kind of pooped in it.
Jesus.
But yeah, just, how they've rehashed all these characters. Like I said, Kyon lacks all of his bite, all the things that made him an interesting, engaging character. Yuki Nagato is just now, I like this animation style kills me too, because, we got, Nagato in her glasses, and to me, that was always the most adorable thing in the original series, so when she lost the glasses, that made me really sad. So I was like, yeah, Nagato with her glasses. This art style isn't cute. Fuck it. I don't even give a shit anymore. Like, the one thing that could have saved this if it had the original art style.
And the amazing thing is, it doesn't even deliver on art hard to describe. It doesn't deliver... The art style doesn't deliver in the same way the original did either.
Yeah.
In that way of, as you just said, it wasn't that original art style, ergo it wasn't cute. There could have been other styles they could have used that would have made that cute, but it isn't that sort of art style.
Maybe I'm not remembering right. Did Yuki Nagato have glasses like that in the original series?
Yeah.
Okay.
They did the first couple episodes.
They were the big ones?
Huge.
Yeah. Okay.
Enormous.
They were just straight up...
bigger than Asahina's tits.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of Asahina's tits. Okay, no, I actually I'm going somewhere with this.
Yeah, fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I've got some choice words.
One of the things that seems like they're kind of neutering traditional Haruhi is, Haruhi has this scene where she brings Mikuru to the class I found this super cute girl. And she does a similar thing in the original series. When she brings him to the club room, except she's just look at the size of her tits, and she just full on gropes her and just molests her, and she does that quite a bit in the series.
Right? Yeah.
It's a little on the rapey side, but it's Haruhi, so what the fuck ever.
Right.
In this though, you could tell that they're restraining themselves because she doesn't mention her tit size at all, and when she's kind of molesting her, she's actually holding her up from underneath her arms, just kind of manipulating her arms and stuff. And it's this is just kind of more awkward and not I don't even understand why Haruhi's even doing this. She's just kind of throwing her off balance. And it feels like, they're just PG-ified Haruhi. It's because, she lacks some of that edge and abrasiveness that she
edge
used
and
to have.
abrasiveness there with at least that interaction was one of the more defining relationships of that series, at least early on.
I couldn't see this Haruhi blackmailing the fucking computer club.
Yes.
Because I think it's episode 2 of the original series. She kicks a guy over on top of Asahina and then starts taking pictures of it to make it look lewd.
So hey, I've seen more than 2 episodes, it turns out.
So there you go.
How many episodes have I seen?
But yeah,
turns out I've seen every Haruhi product and I just blocked it out.
Yeah, I mean all of the more fun elements and all the supernatural elements are gone, because the supernatural elements are what really hooked me with that series. So that's missing. They're obviously hinting at some minor things, but I don't know if there's ever going to be a real payoff. And yeah, it's just watered down Haruhi. I mean, I guess if you're just really just kind of into the moe slice of life thing, you can do Jeff and just kind of write it down and be yeah, it's more Haruhi. But then you kind of fall in the me and Bob category of it's watered down Haruhi, so it's just kind of generic moeified. And then you have the dance situation of what the fuck is going on?
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. And yeah, even with that booster of it being more Haruhi, even Jeff doesn't seem super positive.
Yeah. And
I'm hoping that it takes I'm pretty hopeful for it. I don't think it's just gonna stay this shallow.
I mean, I'd be interested in finding out if it goes anywhere. But like, I don't think I'm gonna watch to find out. I might just look it up later. Like, did anything interesting happen in this fucking anime?
Oh look, I just
I'll probably actually.
I just typed the
keep
first
up
2
with
words
this
and the
one.
rest of it auto completed.
No.
Just Google says it in the search query. You know how it answers facts? Like, how much is a gram to a cup? And it's just, no. Answers.yahoo.com. It's a great source, Google. Good job. Always trust Yahoo Answers.
So yeah, we got like disappointed,
Madness box.
hopefully optimistic, and fucking kill me.
Yeah. But yeah, I've changed my mind about watching the intro and outro.
Yeah,
you guys can talk
Okay.
amongst yourselves.
Okay. Jeff,
Can't really remember them.
Okay, I remember
The
them.
intro was like, it kind of just followed suit with being this weird, like, watered down version of one of the, because I really
Yes!
liked the
Thank
intros
you!
for Haruhi.
Yeah.
And this one, it like sounded very similar musically,
But it was just
but it was
weaker.
just like, it just wasn't as well produced.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the outro, I think I recall not liking it.
Yeah,
It
the
just
outro was
boring.
just. I just remember the outro bored. I remember the outro bored me, and I didn't give a shit. And the intro was just, yeah, like you said, it was just this watered down version of a Haruhi intro, where it was, you know, and like even stylistically, like you know,
they
it
used
kind of like
some
you
of
know,
the same-
like some of the visuals was like, I'm like, okay, like it's just kind of Haruhi-esque, but it's like it's not going as far or vibrant or as original or creative as a Haruhi intro would. So yeah, it's just. Every element, just right down to its intro, just feels like watered down Haruhi.
Another weird thing to note about the intro is it seems to focus more on showing Haruhi than it did Yuki.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Just like
That was
she
weird.
was always with Yuki. If Yuki was there, we thought
Yeah, and then
Haruhi
half
too.
the time
and
it would
then-
be like Haruhi first, then Yuki.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
Because
just
Yuki just not good enough. No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not good enough.
she's just like honestly this version of her like honestly like when I saw her in the movie it was really interesting. You know,
Because it was just like a small glimpse.
yeah, because it was that and like plus you had like Kyon freaking her the fuck out, being like, no, what about the data integration unit? So she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Leave me alone. You know, she was like terrified and shit. Like this is just, you know, like trying to center an entire series around this girl, and you know. And it's not even like, oh, like she freaks out when she gets pulled out of her comfort zone, because Haruhi shows up and she just rolls with everything.
Yeah,
it's
that
like,
was...
like everything. It's,
I felt it was pretty forced. We didn't mention this before, but they like threw in this whole subplot of, oh, well, Yuki's in love with Kyon because she got a book for him or at a library or something.
and then what was it? Oh fuck, you didn't put his name down. I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. The Esper.
Oh
Or-
yeah, sorry, he showed up for like a
Koizumi.
minute.
Yeah, Koizumi, yes. Yeah, like, Koizumi, like, you know, he's in love with Haruhi, and it's like, okay, which I think that's how it was in the
Yeah, I was
disappearance,
gonna say,
in
I think
that
he was
movie as
in love
well.
with her
In that movie as
in
well.
like all of it.
I think he does hint at being interested in the
It
original
was
series.
kind of like the same thing as Kyon, where they'd be like, "Oh, look at Mikuru because she has giant boobs," but then they'd really be interested.
I think
in
you are right. It's been,
Haruhi.
like, I haven't, like, I watched that movie, back when I lived with Dan. That was a while back now, so... Yeah, I want to say I watched that movie like 3 years ago. Like, shit, Bandai was still around.
I'm just wondering too if, because I mean the whole point of the other series was that Haruhi had this weird innate ability to change everything around
Yeah.
her to what she wanted, and that's why she was able to hang out with the Esper and
Yeah.
Alien and whatnot. I'm wondering if she still possesses that ability in this
Yeah,
universe, and
it's-
if they're gonna actually come up with something like that. Because you brought it up before, but I believe it was actually Yuki whenever they were passing by in the
Oh, was it
crosswalk. Yeah,
Okay.
and then like her hair flutters, and
Yeah.
then there's just like this quick flash where she turns around, and then Kyon is like, "Is that somebody you know?"
Yeah.
And then she was just kind of like, "No, I must be mistaken," or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're making
there's
some pretty.
Yeah, there's weird parallels. It's like I said, it's like it's exactly that alternate universe thing, except from the movie, but it's
Yeah.
with except Kyon's now just the normal straight man that he was in the normal series, and he's not, he's just a normal part of this alternate universe instead of being the guy from the original universe.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they're.
I'm
If
curious
they're
to see
putting-
what they're gonna do with it, but I don't think I'm gonna watch to find out. I'm probably just gonna look it up
Yeah.
later.
I'm wondering if they're like more so just inserts to like be like, oh yeah, I get that from watching the
Oh
original
god, that would
run.
be such
Or
shit
if
if
they're
this was just a
actually-
wink wink, hey, remember this better anime?
Yeah.
Let's just twist that knife, motherfucker.
I have a sick feeling that that's what this is.
Yeah, it's Haruhi, so I'm hoping it becomes something more. But yeah, I really think it's just gonna
Right, where it's
fizzle out to be like Haruhi's the crazy character that shows up every episode, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna focus on
Kramer
Yuki
Haruhi.
being shy. Yeah. She starts throwing out the racial slurs.
Sounds like it fits.
Yeah. Everyone's just like, we're all Japanese here.
This is how normal Japanese people are.
So yeah, I think we've beaten this.
Right.
down.
Anything to say about the outro?
No.
It was completely forgettable to the point to where I can't even, because I tried to remember it for this, and I fucking forgot.
I
it.
remembered that there's this thing where there's a mirror image of Yuki, and
Hey, you remember more than I did, and I was actually trying to remember it.
No.
Like I was trying to remember the visuals, and I was trying to remember the song. Like I when I was watching, I was like, I need to make a mental note of this for the damn podcast, which I did that 3 days ago, and today I cannot remember. Like I'm like shit.
Yeah.
That was pointless.
So, we should just segue into how excellent the music and whatever whatever it
No, don't
was.
spoil it.
Yeah. Oh.
Don't spoil it.
Yeah.
Don't talk about it.
Oh God!
I
What was
want
it?
to, though.
Freaking when Haruhi shows up, they use the exact same musical cues from the Haruhi Suzumiya series.
Yeah.
Like it's like slightly off remixes, but it's the exact same songs. So once again, twist, twist, twist.
maybe we should just move on to.
Yeah.
No, fuck you, Bob. I want to yell more about this goddamn anime.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Here we are talking about Blood Blockade Battlefront. Now, I watched this anime.
Whoa.
No, like all the way through, huh? You didn't even like.
I went into the future and watched the full season and OVA and movie.
Whoa.
So in any case, the original creator of this, as we mentioned earlier, Naito.
Yeah.
You know, Trigun and the absolute classic Gun Grade.
Yes.
The director here is Rie Matsumoto. Does anyone know what Kyosogiga is?
Bob.
I feel like I saw it, but I can't remember it.
Does
so
it involve a Giga Pudding?
no.
Okay, well
At
that's
least not for the
disappointing.
pictures I looked at.
It is a TV series.
Yeah.
So that
Bob,
was his...
you would make a terrible programmer. Close your fucking parentheses.
Yeah, I know. It's bad.
So, in any case, animation production done by, and I'm not surprised, Bones
Yep.
from FMA, Soul Eater, and Space Dandy. I didn't know Space Dandy. Well, actually, I think you mentioned that.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the first, like, ignoring Space Dandy, like, it feels like it's been a long time since we had a good action series from Bone. So actually, Space Dandy doesn't even really fit that bill, so...
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was-
I've just
yeah.
seen it in
It was
passing
great,
and just
but-
looked at it and was like, oh man, that's visually really good.
Right.
Like, tasty. How are they still that good? How didn't Zamd just take it out of them with its PlayStation Network only release at first?
Yeah, I don't know. But,
Man, retro reviews, we should totally do Zamd. Because we
No.
have some differing opinions about that shit.
that'd be interesting.
Oh man, aren't there 2 whole seasons though?
It's one 26 episode season.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, 26
Okay.
episodes total.
I think that means I only watched 13 episodes and it was
That
like,
is-
I'm out.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
No joke. Fucking very much like the Lost Universe thing earlier. There's a scene. You're supposed to take Zam very seriously, Jeff. But in Zamd, they have like alien growth attachments that occur to them via parasites and stuff. And this dude, one of his goes off in an episode like 12 episodes in, and then it's like, ugh, and then it cuts away, and then he goes, it ripped my pants.
Yeah.
It is supposed to not be funny. Like,
But it's hilarious.
it's so good. I watched it like 5 times in a row. Oh, Zamd. Oh man, didn't you buy all that digitally on the PlayStation Network?
No, we rented like the first 11 episodes.
Okay.
And then we just-
waited for Blu-ray release, right?
Yeah, and then I picked up the Blu-ray when that came out several years later.
Several years later. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about Blood Blockade Battlefront. Blood Blockade Battlefront. It is the B3. It's a shonen anime, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely shonen.
It's just
action.
not stupid enough.
I don't
for me to
know.
feel
Yeah,
comfortable.
it's gonna get there.
I'd say it is.
Yeah, but say like I mean they're calling out attack names.
No, wait. You're gonna tell me that this is as stupid as Bleach and Naruto and DBZ?
Yes.
God damn,
Oh.
Jeff, you're just a liar.
Okay, honestly, this is more over the top. In fact, this is probably the most over the top thing Nightow's done.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah, probably.
I mean,
Gungrave, what are we talking about?
Well,
Gungrave-
Gungrave, like the anime, really wasn't nearly this over the top.
That's
Now,
true.
if we go to the game, sure, that was
it's
crazy.
fucking
Yeah,
like
that was-
even the audio is blowing all the time.
But this is set in New York City, which has had some sort of dimensional rift to another world.
oh wait, is it actually New York City? Because
Yes,
yeah,
I keep
it's
hearing,
New York.
Like Hell Salem's Lot is what I keep hearing.
Yeah, they
There's
basically
like
just
7
called it
different
that.
districts.
Okay.
basically-
I think that was one of them.
Okay.
So in any case, yeah, New York City, dimensional rift opens and what was it? A fog separates New York now from the rest of the world, except for some way to get out.
It sounds like they can still go there. It's just that blocked off communications.
Right.
So then by the time people got in after that fog went up, they're like, what is all of this? There are aliens
Right,
everywhere.
extra dimensional beings
Yeah.
are like in there now, and it turns out some of them like rap music too, and it's just this sort of like, see, we can bond over these things. And I love this one shot in the first episode that establishes this. It's a montage very cleverly done, and you know, it shows a rap music video with some black dude and an alien. They're both like up in the camera, like fucking bringing it. And then the next shot is of a newsroom, and it's so Japanese. The normal human is just like, isn't that right? And the co-host, all he ever says is, hi. Like, and they just keep doing this over this whole thing. And I'm like, see, even aliens can be that douche. Just guy who says, yup. And then, yeah, so you get this, like, they're blended together, the two races, and yet there's skeezy stuff going on in the underworld. And by the underworld, I mean, like, criminal underworld, not literal underworld. But,
They aren't all watching that movie.
Yeah.
yeah, oh, God.
So yeah.
How would you two, like talk about Libra? Do they pronounce that right?
I don't know.
No,
man.
they don't. They say Libra. I'm
Okay,
pretty
that's
sure.
what I thought I was hearing them say, and I don't like it.
Hey, you can't tell them how to pronounce it. Maybe it's not the Libra we know.
Fuck them.
It's Reba.
You can hit them.
I hate all of their names.
I love
what?
their names.
What?
Their names are okay. Like Leonardo Watch, Klaus von Reinherz, Zap Renfro, Chain Sumeragi. Oh man, just Sonic White.
I just fucking yeah. Hey, Waito. It is a
What?
ghost girl named Waito.
Was the last time I
actually
saw
a
this? Who knows?
Well,
Apparently,
we're
she's
not-
added for the series. I didn't know that until I.
Huh.
So
Yeah.
she's not even
Yeah, she's-
an original character?
Yeah, she's only in the anime.
Which
Huh.
would make her an original
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
They were like, we don't have enough cute characters in this.
And Ghost Girls.
I remember the last time I saw this was actually when Gene Simmons' son stole panels from it.
I thought this was
Yeah.
one of the
What?
I did
Right?
not-
Yeah.
I did
Yeah,
not.
Gene Simmons' son ripped off art from a lot of anime and manga and shit.
Yeah.
Like
For
hardcore.
what?
For
his-
making his own
for-
comic book.
Yeah. Like he would steal panels from Bleach. Apparently this, as well as
And he thought he would get away with
Hellsing.
this?
Huh?
He
He just
did.
thought-
Oh, he got
no.
in super trouble. Like,
I mean, no,
they got-
like he...
It took time.
Yeah.
Right.
But
He just
for
thought no
Big,
one
he
would
did.
notice that.
Yeah.
Right? Like stealing from some of the biggest names in the industry. You
I mean,
aren't going to get found.
That's the thing. That still happens. There are people doing that in America of American shit.
I
Like,
believe
there are
it.
people selling paintings that are just painted over versions of comic book panels, and they're selling them for hundreds. Mm-hmm. Saw that the other week. In any case, so yeah, there's an organization called Libra, because fuck Libra, and it's headed by Klaus von Reinharz. And, you know, Zap Renfro's there. And these people have blood powers.
Yeah.
They have blood powers.
They fully explain this weird dimensional rift for why aliens are there, but they don't ever mention where the blood powers come from. It's just
Yeah.
apparently that happens.
Because they're fucking badasses.
Apparently.
That would be like, hey, why is that chick in Trigun so huge? Because she's huge.
Whoa.
Check it. It's just fucking yeah. The anime isn't like. I feel like it does a really good job of having some cool actiony stuff, having those payoff moments of like, oh, this thing went wrong, but then this person set up the trap, haha. Like one of those things. Like it does well to pull off those moments. And then there's the third episode, which is this extreme mind game like endurance test with some demon who has like a billion brains. And I thought it did a really good job tonally of doing all three of those things pretty well as going into the main character's like weakness and stuff. But I don't really love the main character. He's not supposed to be lovable.
Yeah.
I mean, he's supposed to be somewhat likable.
Right. His whole thing is he's normal. Like he's that audience surrogate sort of character.
But then he isn't normal.
Right.
Because
he has God eyes.
He has the God eyes.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Oh, it's just the
God eyes. He's got the one. And yeah, I don't know. Like the delivery, the humor, and everything. It really, I feel like it comes off as Naito. Like there's a good bit of Naito like funny in here.
Yeah, everything about this just screams Naito. Like you know the cross imagery for like weapons and things.
Yeah.
The aesthetic, the very Western aesthetic that he's got going on. You know, it's very Gungrave feeling.
As for yelling out stupid fucking names for goddamn attacks, I feel like this does it better than Kill la Kill did. Because Kill la Kill, though it did stack words, which is the best thing you can do, this comes out of the gate with, here's this name, a number, and then the form of it. Because Reinhardt's in like the second episode is like, blah, 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 spear version, and it's now like this giant Longinus spear bullshit that he just like obliterates a dude with.
Yes, they do. They just step straight into the insanity there.
Yeah, I do love the fact that they're that far into... You know, because it's not like, oh, well, you know, he's going to learn these... Like, no, these guys already have these abilities.
No, these guys are amazing. He's just got God eyes. Fuck him. He's not going to learn how this works, at least yet.
I mean, I dig a lot of what they're doing with the series. I like the art styles. I like Naito's art style. I like how it's very angular. And they animate it very well. Thing is, though, like, you know, being Bones, it's not super well animated, so that's what really kind of disappointed me. Like, if you compare it to, like... Soul Eater and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and those, and even Space Dandy, I feel like this doesn't look as good as those.
I feel like it definitely looks better than Space Dandy looks a lot of the time. Space Dandy gets
weird, but that's always like a stylistic thing with Space Dandy. Like
sometimes it's a stylistic thing.
I don't know. I mean, I watched it pretty recently, but
you thought Soul Eater looked good
most of the time. Like I mean, I'm just saying.
That's why you're here, Jeff.
I'm talking about like as far as like the fluidity, the animation, things like that, like the action sequences. Like, you know, the animation's usually really fluid with them in the last, I want to say, 7-8 years of their production. With this though, it didn't look anywhere near as fluid as I'm used to seeing, as stylized. But I will say everything stays on model extremely well, which after fucking seeing Arslan, I was so happy to see Blood Blockade.
Arslan was the last one I watched.
Yeah, unfortunately Arslan was the last one I watched too, so I felt really...
That was actually the same here too.
Yeah, like...
How about you, Bob?
I think the Nagato Yuki was the last one I watched, because I had to force myself.
Yeah, right? I can understand that. I mean... I love Naito's, you know, art direction. I like, you know, Bones keeps it on model, and it looks pretty good. It looks above average, I would say.
I would say that the way it handles CGI is very smart. Like, they do it in dark scenes with things that aren't super important, like vehicles and things
background
like that.
Pieces. Yeah.
And it's rendered at a high frame rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a fucking good job with that.
I really like the backgrounds. Yeah. Like the backgrounds and like the monsters, they look really nice.
That third episode is so cool visually. And it's just like this chess game sort of thing.
Oh yeah, that was super
But
sweet
the
looking.
Background and creature in it were so cool. Like I really do like this anime a lot.
Yeah.
Which is why I chafe against it being called shonen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's shown in the fact that it's geared towards young males, but...
I know, but that's fucking stupid.
Like, Death Note's shonen.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know that probably actually has a larger percentage of females with, like, based on personal experience.
Right.
At least. Because Raito.
Yeah. But yeah, like,
So Jeff, what didn't you like about this, or like what is boring about it? Just, what did you think? Like, we're here to hear your opinion.
I liked parts of it.
Okay.
Namely the soundtrack, but we'll get to that later.
No, feel free to go into it now.
The jazzy soundtrack was wonderful.
Fucking excellent. Best anime really soundtrack good. I've heard in a really long time.
I found myself, I would be like watching the scenes but paying attention to the music more than I would actually be watching it. But as far as the show is concerned, it was just like, even though it kind of isn't really a typical shonen, it still has the same kind of format where it's like, oh, we're gonna go through this thing, now one of us shouts an attack and we win. And then, I mean, like you said, the third episode did stray from that, but I actually did not like that episode.
Really?
Yeah, I just thought it was
kind
really
of in the
boring.
same boat.
I could almost see where you're coming from. I didn't expect to like that episode. What, Bob, did you like episode 3?
I kind of liked it. I didn't like it as much as some of the other ones, but I don't know.
All two of them?
Yeah, all two of them. But I still enjoyed it, like, because it was so freaking weird.
Yeah, I really liked how much it was this, like, battle of endurance in the mines, and also somebody trying to fight for someone who just wishes they were dead and tried to make a deal to kill them. Like, that in the universal setting of, like, here's this horrific creature in this dimension. He plays this fucked up game with people in, and they bleed from the face, and it's completely screwed.
Because it's Nightow, it's pretty metal.
And it's really fucking metal, and it's, like, really pretty. That's why I liked the third episode. It really went into universe stuff that I thought was cool.
Right,
not like here's the mechanics.
They're able to
like,
straight up drive into this alternate world and find that guy who can bargain for basically anything.
Yes.
Like the first guy that goes in is bargaining to try to get nuclear weapons, and that's like nothing to this guy.
Right, because that's fucking easy.
Right, that's easy compared to anything apparently.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I thought it was really, really interesting and affected the universe in an interesting way, and the tone of the series too. I hope, honestly, that there are more episodes that do that, because you know how you were talking, Jeff, you were talking about how like it was really formulaic shonen kinda. I also chafe against that. That's why the first episode is really my least favorite.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm worried if it's a lot of that I might just sort of, kind of like I did with Kill la Kill, like it less and less as it continues to do that sort of format. So I really hope it does just keep it interesting like it has been for the first 3 episodes, because each one I felt like was significantly different from the others. And like the second episode, the beginning 3, 4, maybe even 5 minutes is just basically, as far as you know, a gag reel of the dude, of one of the main dudes, Zap Renfro, beating the shit out of the main character at his job of being a pizza delivery guy, stealing the pizza and running away. And he's so brutal some of the times, he just leaves him bleeding out on a sidewalk.
That was great shit.
Good.
Yeah, I really like that about this, and that almost seems like Fooly Cooly, you know? They would start an episode where it's just like, oh, and then she's everywhere.
Right.
Haruko is now a nurse and give an injection.
Yeah.
Like, it's that fact, it just changes the tone and keeps it interesting.
One thing I was really worried about during the first episode is they kind of introduce like the diner group of people, and then they have a scene where they come back to them and they're like stuck in rubble, and it seems like it's going to do that like really cheap heartstring pulling thing of, oh, we introduced these characters in the first episode, now we're going to kill them and the main character's going to get sad, and that didn't happen. And I was like, oh right, this is Nightow, this isn't some Drek that's recent.
Right, and that's the thing, that's the sort of shit I hate about any story, and I feel like that happens not only in anime, but tons of things where it's just like, we introduced this person literally 8 minutes ago, you should feel bad.
And I feel like that's getting super common in anime recently.
I feel like it's getting super common in a lot of things.
It is.
Like, that's just, and it's sad because it's like, we have this much human history for you to look back on not only a ton of good stories, but a ton of books written about how to make good stories, and you fuckers can't even do that. You're just shitting out this, oh, and then we need to have this moment in the first episode. Wait a second. What was that fucking show?
got killed.
Yeah!
It did that exact thing. And that did like 3 times in a row.
Right! In the first fucking episode. Like, it's just like, oh, childhood friend sadness. And then the second episode, oh, childhood friend sadness. Fucking Akame got killed.
Fucking anime.
Man, what a good contrast there is.
Right? Yeah, that is an excellent thing to contrast.
Yeah.
Like you just look at those two. It's like this is just done right. This is it done fucking wrong.
Yeah. Like these are the interesting parts of this universe, and we're gonna focus on that while also having cool moments.
Yeah, just it is so refreshing to see something like this. This kind of Western cityscape. I dig it. I
fucking love that about Naito. It's like the fucking desert, like Western desert setting in the new fucking York. Because he's like, New York's cool. We'll set it there. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, he totally got like a fucking boner for the West, and it's like, I mean, it works. I have a feeling this series is gonna bomb, kind of like fucking Trigun did, but at least in Japan.
Because fuck Japan.
Yeah, it's like they don't want anything that's made not in Japan or set anywhere other than Japan, or unless it's a fantasy world, I suppose.
Here's the weird thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of culturally talking about exporting culture, like jazz music does well worldwide, but like our pop music, like some genres in the U.S. musically don't. Same goes for movies, and it's like, oh, this did great in the United States, but since it's about dipshit Americans and it's set in the most American America possible, it did terrible everywhere else. And then things like fucking Kaiju Battle Extreme, which
Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim did great worldwide. Wait, did you just...
But fucking bombed here. Yeah,
Jeff doesn't like Pacific Rim?
No, I thought it was awful.
Which, okay, real quick. Freebie review! What did you... Buy one, get one free! What did you not like about it? I'm not saying I liked it. I'm just saying, what did you not like about it?
Everything.
Okay.
I mean, it's been a while since I've seen the movie, so I can't...
I was pretty...
I hated the robots. The whole that was the one where it's like, let's do the tandem robots.
Yeah, it was Ava crossed with Gundam or not G Gundam.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, not only do we have latex suits and we have to do this like weird.
Yeah.
There has to be two of us synchronized.
Sync ratios.
Also, I don't know, like the whole it's my twin. Crappy's dead. Now let's go get the Asian girl, but nope, she can't do it with me. Nope, she can do it with me.
It was that little, interstellar Avatar vibe there, where it's just like, yeah. You read that book, How to Save the Dog, didn't you? Or Save the Dog, How to Write a Hollywood Movie. I don't even know what you call that. Like, umami is a word for meaty flavor, savory flavor. We should have a word for that type of storytelling, where it's just like, yeah, fucking feels good going down. Couldn't see this from a mile away. Really emotionally delivers. Man, you know what's great about Jackie Chan movies? Never once. That never happened. Not a single fucking one. He's like, oh no, these native people want me to marry a fat bitch. I gotta get out of here. Like, that's fucking Jackie Chan for you. That was the intro to one of them. I shit you not.
I think that was Project Condor, or maybe...
Yeah, Operation Condor. He's just like, he fucking hand glides in, he takes this rare artifact, and then a native person walks up and they're like, oh, no, speaking some language he doesn't understand. And he's like, oh, sorry, I didn't. And they're like, nah, go ahead. Take it. And he's like, you sure? And they're like, yeah, go ahead, and grabs it. And then they all get angry because he filled it with water because he was thirsty. And that was apparently the sacrilege. And they're like, now you must live with us and you have to marry this bitch. And she's like really fat. And he's like, oh, and he runs away. Like, it's fucking incredible. What a great intro to a movie. How fucking stupid is that?
Man, I like how we just went on that tangent. It's like...
Buy 3, get 2 free. But yeah, no, I love Blood Blockade Battlefront. Like, this is my favorite anime in quite a while. Yeah, I really yeah. Obviously, I can't contrast this about how much I like Watamote, which...
Because that's really weird contrast to do, isn't it?
I mean, but that's the last anime I can think of that I just really fucking loved.
So this is your favorite anime from WeeaBoots, then?
Yeah, probably,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I enjoyed...
This is nowhere near that for me, but okay.
What's your favorite anime from WeeaBoots?
I don't know what my favorite one would be, but I know it's not this one.
Okay, do you know what
Barakamon,
even beats
maybe?
it out?
Oh yeah, Barakamon, definitely. There we go.
I feel like I'm not saying Barakamon's bad. Like, I know Barakamon's incredible, right?
Yeah.
But this is a 10, and Barakamon is a 10, and like I feel like
I couldn't put this as a 10. Wow.
Really?
No.
Okay, so what's
what was it? Maybe I just wasn't paying close enough attention, but just like because it just kind of just like starts info dumping shit on you like really early on, where it's like like split universe rift, this crazy shit happened in New York. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm trying to keep up with that. Then like crazy fucking rift happens like in front of main character, and I think his sister sacrificed herself, so he got God eyes. Is that how that happened?
It was either that monster was going to blind one and give the other the God eye to complete some task. Mm-hmm. So she's like, if you have to blind one of us, take mine.
Yeah, and like okay, so like that happened. I was like, I don't know, like that whole sequence was like so random. I didn't have enough context.
Yeah, that's fair. What I take that as, and the reason why I don't discount it for that, like why I don't demerit. I think that shows the level of importance of those things in this series. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, for you nitpicking shitlords out there, here's your info dump. Now go fuck yourselves. Here's this cool anime.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I take this.
Yeah, I mean, like,
and you're totally right. That stuff was dense.
Yeah, I rewound, honestly, to watch it again.
But yeah, so, like I said, it was really dense in that first... I mean, honestly, like, a lot of these episodes are pretty dense. And I appreciate density. Mm-hmm. I'm probably going to go back and start watching it again once the simuldub happens, because we know it's going to get fucking simuldubbed. If they're going to simuldub anything this fucking season, this is probably going to be one of them.
It better be.
I don't see this not getting a simuldub. So I'm probably going to pick it back up and, definitely give it another shot. I'm enjoying it. I like it. Don't think that I don't. But yeah, like I said, like the animation didn't super impress me. Like the fight scenes aren't really super impressive to me. I think the powers are super cool, and I think I love how just over the top ridiculous and they're being right out of the gate.
I feel like as far as the fight scene goes, I think that might just be because it's like a Night House thing. It's just like no, it's just one big explosion. It's one panel that they're working with.
I mean, that's
I don't know.
That's basically kind of Trigun. Like Trigun had several conflicts, which were just like this tensity, tension just builds up and then it resolves itself weirdly fast for a shonen.
The thing is, though, like I don't feel like it builds up enough tension for that, though. It feels like
Yeah, because they're fighting pipsqueaks now, so there's no tension.
Yeah, so
it's just like no, I'm going to explode.
Some guy just shows up, one shots it in an awesome fashion, and done.
Vash finds out that there's a false door, and he gets into the basement and fucks everyone up, and then the episode's resolved. It kind of comes off kind of the same, but not as as crazy lighthearted.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I'm definitely digging it. Episode 3, you loved episode 3.
I liked it a lot.
Okay, I was kind of iffy on that one because once again, they kind of info dumped a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. Like they're always introducing so many new elements, and I appreciate that. But it's just I feel like I'm just having all this shit just dumped on me for each episode. I have to try and retain and keep track of. Yeah. And especially when we're trying to marathon it for these, because they're doing all these episodes back to back, it makes it more difficult. But the actual game that he plays, that chess game, because it's a fictional game, I don't have context for the rules.
Which means the focus of that scene is the dialogue.
Yeah, it's all in the dialogue, but I don't understand really what's going on because I don't know how to play Go. I have no clue. Hikaru no Go is my favorite manga. And I understand what's on the line, what these characters are going through, who's winning what at what points. Yeah. And here it's just, they're moving pieces around, and I understand that Klaus is, it's physically taxing on him being in that weird dimensional realm is what was fucking came up. Okay. Yeah. I don't know how well they convey that because I was like, okay, now his nose is bleeding. I'm not sure. I guess it's just this realm that was doing it to him. But
or maybe you're just keeping up with trying to think of where all of his pieces were at once.
Yeah, now and the fact that you guys aren't even agreeing on that. It seems.
Oh
kind
no,
of
I think it's both.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it seems
because he was playing for 99 hours straight.
Yeah, and it just seems.
And obviously, 99 hours didn't pass while those guys were in that room. So already the dimension operates at a different speed.
Yeah, it's all hyperbolic time chamber, but but
like hell.
Yeah,
hell crossed over with a hyperbolic time.
But because basically it's just he's basically expressing just how mentally taxing this is on him, and they're just playing this game, and it doesn't feel like there's actually like, okay, I mean, there's obviously an end game because first guy who goes in says like, he's going for a checkmate or whatever.
So check this out. The difference here is a lot of shows, and I think all of us have seen probably dozens of these, where it's like, oh, they're doing this thing, and we're, as the audience, supposed to find the thing cool and engaging, and like that's what we're paying attention to, because the way the characters react is about the game.
Yeah.
In this, that is not the case. The dialogue the whole time is not talking about the game. They explain outside the effects of the game on the players, but not the state of the game.
Yeah.
So the fact you're not able to follow it makes it okay. Unlike Star Trek The Next Generation, which had that fucking fake chess game, and they had bullshit rules that they didn't fucking explain, and then they focused the shot on the thing, and then it's like, oh, look, I won. And I'm like, I wouldn't have fucking known if you didn't goddamn say.
Yeah, I see, and I think what my issue is because it's not actually about the game. Yeah. I feel like though that entire sequence could have been a lot shorter, because there is so much of the game being played, and it's like, well, if the game isn't actually relevant, I mean, they probably could have just shown a little bit of it, the beginning and the end, and just cut out all that middle stuff and like, he got through it. It's been 99 hours. He has a fucking nosebleed, and he's kind of really fucked up from it, but he did it. And
well, that scene in Saw where they figure out the key is inside of the person, they should have just got from the beginning to the end. There it is.
Yep.
Just go straight for it.
Yeah, just.
I really think it's about the struggle there.
But I just feel like because I don't really know what he's going through. Like, I mean, I don't have a frame of reference for like what kind of how taxing this is on him, like what he's physically going through. I just know that he's fatigued. I guess his nose is bleeding. I mean, the first guy who got like thrown out of it, he was all emaciated and shit. And I'm like, and he was only in there for 9 hours, and like, I'm not sure like why he is like why Klaus. Maybe his Klaus is just that much more awesome.
Okay, so you guys ready? Here's my master's thesis. This is not a shonen anime because we don't have assholes explaining the mechanics of this dimension.
Yeah.
Boom. There we go. That's why Jay's angry. Because this isn't a full-blown shonen anime where they had to explain. They could have spent, instead of spending a whole fucking episode explaining this game that's only here for one fucking episode, they spent the episode having dialogue that was mostly about the struggle, the main character's Klaus's character, and various elements of the universe, and explaining this creature with its many, many brains.
Yeah.
Like, that is so much more interesting to me than them explaining a chess game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't want them to explain the rules of the game, but just to have, like, the certain characters be like, oh, just having some dialogue of being like, oh, he's pushing me back, like, I need to, like, do, like, these kind of counters.
That would have made this fucking terrible for me. That is what I'm saying.
And that would have made it engaging for me. It's just...
I don't know. I feel like if they did... you go in with the thought of he's not even trying to go for checkmate. He's trying to live.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I feel like
so he's just moving the pieces to try and not die.
I mean, what you're asking for is basically the mental equivalent of that DBZ moment where it's like, oh my god, my power's gone. I need to find a way to get it back. Like you're asking for that in chess, where it's like, oh, he's coming for me. I need to figure out a way to win this, and I don't want that.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, just I feel like just something else. Like the chess game to me felt completely hollow, and it just did nothing for me. Like I said, like my favorite manga is Hikaru no Go, where it's just a bunch of fucking kids playing a board game.
And I mean, I like that too. But that is about that.
Yeah, in Hunter x Hunter, they had a fake board game called Gungi, and like that was one of the most engaging parts of that series. And it, they never explained the rules, and honestly, the game wasn't even that important. It was a subplot thing that was happening, at another point in the series. And but those sequences were really interesting because I fully understood the characters, and it was fleshing out these characters, and I feel like I wasn't getting anything from this other than Klaus is getting pretty much physically wrecked from being here.
You do get Klaus's character from this, though. You really get that he's like this unyielding force of he'll kill himself to save another person who even wanted him dead because that is what's right.
And I mean, that's
cool. He even goes on that speech of explaining that humans are weak and lack self-respect in moments of weakness.
Yeah.
They do go into his character.
Yeah.
And here is my reason for liking this more than Barakamon. Every episode of Barakamon is episode 1 and 2 of this, where it's like, oh no, I don't have inspiration. Inspiring thing, draws! Like, and yeah, like, that's fine, it's whatever. But as a person who likes a lot of change and diversity and things, I really liked episode 3 of this because it was so far off the beaten path.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just like, when I think of things like Shirobako, Barakamon, Yatterman Knight, I would put it on Yatterman Knight level. To me, it's like a solid, like, 8.5 and 9.
Wow.
That territory.
Bob, where are you sitting on this?
I'm up there pretty high, honestly. Like, probably. I'm horrible at putting numbers on.
7.3.
It's go pretty good.
Nice. You did all right for an anime.
It's 0.75.
You're no Interstellar.
You're not Ghostbusters.
Jeff, where would you put this? Like 5?
I don't. 6. I'll give it a 6.
Oh.
I don't think it's...
No, it's not. Fuck you. That's not okay. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I think it's bad. Like,
it's just not for you.
Yeah, it's just not my cup of tea.
But yeah, I'd for myself, I'd say like upper 9s.
Yeah.
Just because I like the show and stuff. I like it when it gets stupid ridiculous, and I like really nice art.
Yeah,
and it's all bad.
Oh yeah,
that's what I love about this. It's Bone's beautiful animation with Nightow's sense of humor and character design. And Western boner. I like the Japanese take on Western settings in a lot of cases. I sort of got flashbacks to Big O in a sense.
Yeah, definitely with those buildings.
This is definitely not tonally Big O, but you still get that idea of like this is Japan's take on a Western setting. And I really like that shit.
I didn't like Trigun.
Oh, that's son of a...
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to take your member card.
Oh God, actually,
you know what? I'm gonna join in and maybe do one where this is better than Trigun.
I don't
honestly. I would say this is better than Trigun, not Maximum or the manga.
Right, but that's fucking cheating.
Yeah, honestly, I just wanted to fucking adapt the manga correctly. Okay, like
see, you came into this with baggage. You should have opened your heart to love.
Like I'm just saying, Full Metal Alchemist got this fucking treatment and. I'm just saying, like, I don't think the manga Full Metal Alchemist was better than the first series that they made. The Trigun manga was so much better than the goddamn original anime.
So, Bob, upper 9s?
Yeah.
Jeff, what was that, 6?
6.
No. Jay's crying.
It is tied with Barakamon because I refuse to go above 10. And I give Barakamon to 10, and I don't regret that, but I also give this a 10, and on top of that, say it is really exactly what I want. Like, it's got great music.
Yeah, the music, Jesus Christ. Like I said, I mean, it is expertly done. Yeah. Like, I mean, I feel like it just, there's just little things that I just kind of feel about.
What I really like seems to be a lot of the problems you feel like you're about. Like, the moment where they're just like, here's this fucking mechanic dump. Yeah. That's not important. Like, honestly, here's this fucking blood power. Who cares? Like,
you know what?
There's a dimensional rift. We're dealing with it.
Okay, I'll tell you what. When the simuldub happens,
yes,
I will.
I'm gonna buy this on Blu-ray. That's how much I like this fucking anime.
I'm probably gonna pick it up too. But like when the simuldub happens, I will voice my opinion again because I really feel
How about this? You keep doing WeeaBoots for like the GigaBoots channel. I know you posted that one episode on your. You and me can, after the simuldub comes out, we can do like one of the videos we do with Aggro where we just sit there and talk.
Okay, that sounds fun.
Camera. That sounds fun.
All right, yeah, that sounds good. But yeah, like I mean, I'll definitely go back because I really feel like an English dub might help me a lot because,
Tell me, Jerry Jewell is the main character.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. I mean, it probably won't be, but
no.
I mean, the
world is cruel.
Honestly, it'll probably be Sergeant Frog. Top 8 recording isn't that bad.
I just dropped all the way from fucking Jerry Jewell to that. That hurt. It's like when the elevator goes down too fast and it stops and your balls go, and you feel like.
Honestly, I could see Zap being Jerry Jewell more. I think that fit him more.
I don't know. He yells a lot.
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah.
I see him more. That's totally a guy who plays Ragnar the Blood Edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, either that or you could really go for a, what's the name of the dude who, Edward Elric? Mignogna. Yeah, Vic Mignogna guy. Lots of yelling, lots of stomping and being pissed. Yeah, I feel like he does that pretty well, and then occasionally tries to act
we all know that Christopher Sabat's gonna be Klaus, right?
Yeah, but in a perfect world, wouldn't it be
Richard Epcar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? in a
Oh
perfect
God,
world.
it would.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I saw him and I'm like, Epcot would be great for this.
Yeah.
Fucking not happening.
Sometimes they hire him. They do bring him on sometimes.
Sometimes they just don't hire him to fucking spite fans who know better.
Right.
You should have hired Epcot.
But yeah, I feel like the info dumps would be a lot easier to digest, especially like
In English.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
and
yes.
because I'd be watching it on a weekly basis, I wouldn't have to like marathon it like I did these 3 episodes. Like trying to keep up with all of that. Like I just felt it was a little too much of a chore in that way, in that regard. So
Just want to shake it.
Jeff's lack of stimulus means he wants to shake the mic.
But yeah, so I mean, yeah, I definitely gonna.
I mean, you're totally right.
Yeah.
In English, way easier to deal with those info dumps. That instantly occurred to me the first time it did, and I'm like, okay, so I just won't care even slightly.
yeah,
Take me on a ride anyway.
But yeah,
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's kind of like the Donnie Darko. Like, you've seen Donnie Darko. It has these info dump mechanics of the universe and stuff, and it's like, that's not really what's important. Have you seen Donnie Darko?
of course.
Okay. Just checking. But yeah, it does that, and like, yeah, you could say that's important, but that's not really important. The journey and the character is really more of what's important.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely interested in where this is going.
in the
I
fucked
like
up
it.
universe.
I definitely like it. It's probably the most interesting action series we've had so far.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, Jesus.
yeah,
Fucked.
like this entire run of WeeaBoots, I'd say it's definitely the best action series. Like the only thing I would say it came close is Yatterman Knight, and I only put Yatterman Knight so high up is because it had a really unique concept. That whole kind of that whole future generation switching the dynamic between villains and heroes that
Yeah.
I really liked.
But we don't really get good villains in that. That's kind of...
I feel like we were getting there.
We got robots.
Well, the thing is that we haven't had villains in this, really. Like, we had interestingly designed villains, not so much interesting
We were talking about that
villains.
one with the chess game. We could call him a villain.
I don't feel he's a villain.
I mean, okay, he's an antagonist for that episode,
Yes.
which we're going to
Yeah.
vaguely define as a villain.
He's a really interesting character. I refuse
He
to call
still
him.
was an antagonist. Like, literally, the definition of an antagonist,
Yeah.
he fit it.
Yeah, and
So,
he
that's
was literally
more
going to kill one of the main characters if they didn't succeed.
But yeah, I mean, but they went to him. I mean, he wouldn't have fucked with them.
But still,
Right.
he's what stands between them and their goal. He's an antagonist. Now shut the fuck
he's an
up.
obstacle.
Oh, you. Fucking
He's a
obstacles can
wall.
be antagonists, too.
He's a wall.
You're a
interesting
wall,
He's,
man.
he's an interesting wall, goddamn, but he's a fucking wall.
He's the wall with
Look,
7
man.
brains and a giant dick.
every Final Fantasy has an antagonist that is a wall. And it pushes it off that cliff and lets you kill it fast
You know,
enough.
they should.
No, they almost always do.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
There
Just
was
trying
one
to think
in
of one
12.
in
Yeah,
7.
12 had one.
The one in 12
4
was
had
weird
one,
because
4
it
had
was
one.
like
I don't know that
it's
6
gonna
had
push
one.
you all the way back,
Pretty sure
and then you're
six.
It had a ghost train.
that
Ghost
there's like a spot where you can just walk anyway.
But yeah, I think, you know,
Just go around it.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Blood Blockade Battlefront, though, I think we can all agree, though, it is a well-produced, well-made, you know, interesting series that, you know, we all approve of.
Okay, you lost Jeff at interesting, but the rest of that he seems to agree with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Jeff is tired. Jeff needs bedtimes.
I'm always tired. We do these so late.
We do.
Bitch, I've been, like, seriously, come on, it's 1:24 right now.
Are
It's
you
1:24.
I thought it was late when it was 10:30.
Jeff, get
So
on
let's-
our level.
Seriously.
So let's talk about Sonic Monkey real quick.
No, I don't want to talk about Sonic Monkey. Sonic Monkey.
Yeah, can we just
like the cutest
completely
thing?
ignore Sonic Monkey exists?
Sonic Monkey
But he's
is
Kuroneko
I'm
for
gonna
this
start
series.
shaking the.
Kuro Neko was actually in this fucking anime, too!
Was he? I
Yeah,
missed
there's
it.
like a one scene where Kuro Neko showed up. It was like the first episode. I was like, hey, Trigun throwback.
So yeah, Sonic Monkey's just there to be fucking cute and somehow.
The
tie
black
into
cat from
universe.
Trigun.
Okay. See, I'm thinking Orimo.
No, not
There-
that.
there is-
The real Kuro Neko, you faggot. Is that
I'm just imagining the weird, like, Orimo, only it's a black girl.
Okay, I want you to know, like, because there was that long gap, I thought we were just gonna end the podcast. I was like, really, is the last thing, the last spoken word in this podcast gonna be me calling Jeff a faggot?
We can't end it there.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Alright.
We didn't talk about the intro or outro though. Just mark it anyway, so that way I can edit around this.
Oh.
No.
Does anyone remember the intro?
Yeah, the intro was fine.
All right.
I mean,
the outro.
Yeah,
the outro was great.
Yeah.
The intro was perfectly serviceable. I enjoyed it. It had a nice, catchy theme. It had some nice animation, I guess. But yeah, the outro was definitely where it was at for me. Like the outro
is fantastic.
Yeah, I love the outro. It was really well animated. I'm a sucker for animated dance sequences, so that totally did it for me. And the song itself was really good too, for me at least. I don't know. Dan, where do you lay on that?
I can't fucking remember it.
You can't remember the outro?
I can't remember either.
Yeah, I don't remember the intro,
shit.
but the outro, like, it's all of them in black suits doing a dance number.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, yeah, I remembered both because I remembered the intro right after I said I didn't remember it, and then you reminded me with that one detail. The outro, funny. I enjoy it. Like, that fucking tap dance at the end that goes to the song where it's like... I was like, that's cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the outro was pretty cute. Pretty cute idea for an outro, you know, just them being on a stage, dancing for the audience. Like, I always appreciate that. Even when it's as shittily animated as Naruma Daikon's outro.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like the outro. It was definitely on the top end of outros we've seen because we've seen a lot of bad ones.
Yeah.
A lot of bad ones.
Mm-hmm.
The intro, I don't know. I mean, it was good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean...
It wasn't great.
I mean, it was definitely your kind of by-the-numbers action series intro. I mean, nothing memorable, nothing special, but it does its job. It does exactly what it does. It sets the tone for the series. You know, it kind of gives you cool visuals to look at. Catchy song.
The song isn't clashing with the universe.
And
right.
The song isn't so trying hard to be catchy that it's bad again.
Yeah.
Which so many animes are doing.
God damn it.
But yeah, I would say definitely the best anime this episode. Absolutely, hands down, fucking way better than the other two. Even the intro and outros are just way better than the other two.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like...
Because that outro on fucking Arslan really pissed me off when halfway through. It's like, here's garbage again.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it seems, Jeff is the dissenting opinion here where he liked Yuki-chan more than Blood Blockade. But, I mean...
It seems like
Jeff,
it would have been expected from
I know.
Did you also like Arslan more than this one?
No, I hated Arslan.
Okay, just checking.
Okay, wait,
awful.
everyone's, just so we're clear, everyone's on the same page of Arslan was fucking boring. Except for Bob, where it's just kind of boring.
I thought Arslan was going to be good. Like, the first episode made me think it was going to be, like, something
And then you just feel
decent,
disappointed by the end because it's like, man, that was trite and garbage.
Yeah, I guess by the end of the third episode, that one really just... confirms, this isn't going good.
Garbage confirmed.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like by the end of the third episode of Blood Blockade, it really drove home, like, hey, I'm going to be interesting and do some different things than what you expect. I mean, who expects the tone to be that different by the third episode? You don't really expect that, especially not that early on. You kind of expect that later in the series when you have more attachment to the characters and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those moments.
Yeah.
But I really, really like Blood Blockade. Bob, is this your favorite anime we reviewed on WeeaBoots? Let's talk about that. Did you like it more than Nozaki-kun?
I mean,
I forgot about Nozaki-kun. I like that one.
I mean,
I like that one a lot.
Comparing just straight comedies like that to the action series.
Oh, okay.
I honestly really like both genres, so it's really hard for me to be like, oh, this is just straight better.
So check this out. I don't really have that problem where it's like comparing comedy to action. Like, I just kind of go off of like, oh man, which one made me just like, oh man, that was so great. I really have a problem with Watamote because so much of that is, I know people like this. Like fucking, it's a sadistic fucking enjoyment I get out of that series. I'm like, yes, isn't that fucking terrible? That high school feeling.
Yeah. I would also say this is also, I would put this above Blood Blockade. I would put it a smidge over Assassination Classroom.
I like this more than Assassination Classroom. That was definitely on the top end of...
Yeah,
right.
I really liked Assassination Classroom.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Solid 9.
Yeah, because... Yeah, that's... there we go. I would say, like, Assassination Classroom, like, I would give, that, like, that and, like, that like an 8.5. I would say Yatterman Nights and Blood Blockade, for me, was a 9, and then Barakamon was the 10.
Yeah, I feel like Shirobako is better than Assassination Classroom. I feel like it would be an even better experience in English.
Yeah, I feel like Shirobako, for me, Shirobako kind of falls in that same tier as probably close to, like, I don't know, somewhere in between those two.
Yeah. I feel like every episode of WeeaBoots should end with us meticulously indexing our opinions on every anime. Well, we do this one. We need to make this a video series for YouTube and actually have a fucking chart that we reference, and we're like, okay, move this one up.
You know what my favorite one we reviewed is?
What?
Nichijou.
Fair enough.
Yes, that's kind of cheating.
I don't know, man. I really thought Nichijou was kind of overrated.
Get the fuck out, you lying piece of shit.
I just had to drop it.
Sound of
We
us
hadn't
beating
brought
Jay.
it up this episode.
Because it's an episode of WeeaBoots. You always have to bring it up. Yeah, that's true. But yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yep.
Thanks for listening to this episode of WeeaBoots. Go check out our video game coverage over at GigaBoots on YouTube and consider supporting us via Patreon so we can continue making WeeaBoots. Jay from HailZeon.com is HailZeon on YouTube, and our theme song is Android by Luckhash. You can check out more music from Luckhash at www.luckhash.com. Oh, and if you could, write a review for us on iTunes.
GigaBoots has been brought to you by the support of our producers Vincent Poverk and Cywolf via our Patreon. Consider becoming a GigaBoots patron today.